Hello, everybody. Uh, I am doing a video on Hydreight because they had earnings on Friday, and they were very good earnings. I would listen to their earnings call live. I haven't figured out how to stream yet, and I'm a little busy in the afternoon, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to watch the whole thing, but as soon as they come out with the video and upload it to YouTube, I would like to stream that, or not stream it, but I'll just uh, try to share that and promote that because it was very good earnings. They shared a lot of information that I don't remember. I was trying to take notes. I can go over some of their numbers, but a lot of their verticals for their business involving prescriptions and new nurses and doctors and parts of their business that are growing that aren't transcribed well in an earnings call. It'd be better to hear it from the CEO and those people themselves. But the numbers look very good, and we can go over those too. And I'm sharing this because I actually put a buy order in today. Hydreight looks like it's down 30% since Friday. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but 366 at the high, down to 279. 10% is 36 cents. 20% is 72 cents. So mm, maybe 25%. So that is not a bad dip. And I, uh, like I say, I put in a buy order at 275 today. I think for about 2,000 shares. Um, and I don't know if that's filled, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. But I wanted to go over a little bit of first of all, um, their original earnings were pretty damn low for the past, you know, couple years. Sometimes it was negative. They've been positive for about 4 to 5 quarters now. So their forward PE is at 13, which is very good. That's actually pretty undervalued in my opinion. Uh, they Here's some of the highlights, but let's look at the adjusted revenue. Their overall revenue for this quarter year over year is up 110%. And I know this isn't like an Nvidia where they're just going to keep blasting up and they're the biggest company in the world, but that's very encouraging. For 5 quarters, I believe they have been profitable. And yeah, if we look at this quarter over quarter, back in the end of 2023, they were losing money, losing money, losing money, losing money. And then but revenue's starting to climb up. It's like 4 million, 4 million, 4 million, 4 million. And then they started to actually, become more profitable, get some income. And then this is kind of like a breakout point to me where this is they're building their company out, they're making money, but they're spending a lot of money on developing their software, developing their platform, and boom, they are up 100% since June as far as their revenue. They're basically, for this last quarter, their revenue is um, basically, um, uh, it's double it's the same as the last 6 months. It's doubled since June, and their net income is going up. The margins don't look as good to me as I would like, but these people are still very, very young and growing very rapidly. I think as they get more revenue and improve their margins and they get their stuff rolled out. They did do a 5% stake in a company. I forget the name of it. What's it called? Perfect Scripts. So one thing that these guys are doing is they're working with VSDH1, I believe, is their um, prescription delivery and prescription service. And they had about 300,000 product orders processed between July and September. And this is for a lot of different uh, medications and products. Nurse expansion is good. Pharmacy orders increased 72%. And some of these things I don't understand completely, and I needed to have the live stream up so that I could, because they go over it a lot better than I can. But basically, I didn't see any negative aspects to the business. They have basically more cash on hand than they made this quarter, and they made a lot of cash this quarter, and they had a lot of revenue. Uh, let's just look at the base numbers. 9 months ended, the numbers look very good. 3 months ended comparatively is looking very good. We're looking at 100% growth. We're looking at 1,200% growth. We're looking at 500% growth with net income. Obviously, these numbers are not going to be sustainable. 500% every quarter is going to be insane. But if I'm being honest, these people are so small, and they are in every single state. They have the one thing that I like about these people is they actually have a very big moat for what they do. The legal and the red tape that you have to go through as a healthcare organization to operate in every single state in the United States is very expansive. So they have done a lot of work to get qualified to operate in every state as far as prescriptions and in-home nursing services and all the other things that they do. So that is a pretty big moat factor. And they are very young, very small company, and they have the groundwork laid. So even though this is not sustainable for forever, I would not be surprised. First of all, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes down to 400% or 300% over the next quarter or two, but I wouldn't be surprised if it maintains or goes up either. And that's true for all of these metrics. As they roll out their prescription business, their income is going to keep rising pretty rapidly. And as the work gets done and the expenses that are going into building this get completed, their earnings are going to grow, their income's going to grow, their margins are going to grow, and it's very exciting. So I've been trying to let me see, their margins. Like I said, their margins have grown 52%. Their adjusted EBITDA is up 1,200%. Adjusted revenue is up 100%. So I'm not even too worried about income at this point, even though they are getting more and more positive income, which is good. When you're young, having that revenue is what's really important. You want to have revenue growth. There's lots of ways to fiddle and make your company have income later on. You can do buybacks. You can cut expenses here and there, but everything I have seen so far is positive. Income's growing, revenue's growing. This is the first time they actually have an income per share, so that is pretty nice. And what else do we need to look at here? They signed an agreement to acquire Perfect Scripts with the option to increase to 40%, and this is going to help them with prescription orders. VSDH1 is their product orders, their prescription delivery service, and they list some of the stuff that they ship out. This doesn't say exactly how much money they generated, but it does say they had 300,000 orders, which in the grand scheme of things for Canada, the United States, $100,000, like 100,000 orders a month is not pardon me, is not huge, but man, it's not small either. That is a lot of orders. That's a lot of customers. There's a lot of room to grow. And the fact that, Amazon has a product service, you got Walgreens, you got Rite Aid, you got people that deliver stuff right to your door. The fact that these guys are able to break into that market is very encouraging. Pharmacy orders increased 72%. I don't remember what M&A is. Active evaluation of profitable multi-state wellness and digital health operators that can scale through VSDH1. I think that has something to do with their doctors and nurse network. um, providing care, but I'm not sure. It does mention VSDH1, which I believe is this. I know, I'm pretty sure that this is, like I say, their prescription thing, but it might also be their overall platform. That might be the name for it. I'm not exactly sure. But the earnings call will make a lot more sense of a lot of the stuff when we can watch it. Is there anything else? I was looking through, I wanted to summarize it on Grok as well, but year-to-date gap, 70%, strategic moves, closed convertible debenture earlier into that to fuel expansion. So I think, yeah, VSDH1 is kind of it's like their platform. It's like it's like their version of Windows, or like Microsoft is to Windows as these guys are to VSDH1. I think that's their just platform that their employees, their customers, their nurses and doctors and prescription people use. But their targets in the earnings, they mentioned very, very exciting growth as far as what they're hoping to get. They're expecting large prescription growth, large revenue growth, and large income growth. 50 expansion, 100 plus by 2026. Earnings remain. And in the earnings call, they also mentioned that they're at an inflection point where they've been like, for a while now, they've been like a story. They've been kind of building and developing this for several years, trying to get going, and they have finally started to go. And yeah, their growth for this 2025 so far is very good. 1.3 million in orders. DC2 pharmacy MMA. I need to do more research on what the M&A thing is, but projected revenue top line. Oh, this is in Canadian. Okay, I was like, they had $10 million in USD this year, which is good, but that means they need to get like close to 80 for the next quarter for this to get up there. So that's in Canadian. Okay, so that's why that's a little off. But even if they're expecting between 150 to 300% growth. Like the 150 is the low end for this year. 300 is the high end. Like next quarter could be 20 million. Could be even a little bit more. Next year, 2026, that's where like big growth is happening too. Scaling across 50 states, more partnerships. They're using VSDH1 right now, version 1. They're working on ramping that up to version 2. So they're looking at like these 2 years, this year and next year, they're trying to get their base business set up. And then in 2027, the business should basically be complete, and they should just be working on expansion and market share and efficiency. And just from right now, 1 to 5, we're looking at in 2 years, not 100, sorry, 10 times revenue growth, 10 times income growth at the low end. And it's, I guess if they start with 5 this year and go up to 20, that's only 4 times. But this is also pretty general. This is not exactly accurate, but these guys at the very least should be like growing at 100% a year for 2 to 3 years. Because even if this is 150 and then this is, let's say, 150 again, middle of the road there, and even if this is at 50, the average of percentages, we're looking at 100% each year. So we definitely have some strong growth going forward, and I don't think healthcare is going anywhere. So, but yeah, no, they had a big sell off today, a smaller sell off on Friday, and um, again, I'm not the biggest on technical analysis, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the price. Again, I'm not telling anyone what to do, no financial advice, but there's decent support right around here. It broke through a lot of this consolidation down, and this right here is a support that was broken as well around the 280s, but we had some pretty strong support around the 265, 265, like 265. This is a pretty strong support right here, so it doesn't look like it's breaking down. The markets are red day to day as well. So I don't know. I don't know why there was such a big sell off. Those earnings were very positive. But yeah, who knows why it was down? Maybe there's insider selling or people transitioning, or maybe after the earnings that were really positive and it was a down day, some of the bigger investors are like, screw it, I'm out of this company. But I'm still pretty excited, and it looks like I'm betting my order did fill at $2.75, because I think it's very likely that this is going to get back to 4 in the next couple weeks. If we get rate cuts and if things turn around a little bit, I don't think that healthcare is going anywhere. So, uh, anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Um, I think that going forward, these earnings are going to be very, very positive. Let me just see. They're adding nurses. So basically, one of the things about their networks or their company too is they don't hire nurses. They employ them as independent contractors. And the nurses can, in a sense, this is one of the only ways that a nurse can make money without working through a hospital or another company. It's almost like you can do your own, have your own healthcare and your own clients and do in-home care for people. And they are rapidly growing their their nurse base. And the nurses actually pay a yearly um, fee to use these services. So more and more nurses are adding or are joining their network. And I don't know everything about how this process works, but like I said, I've been following them for a couple of months. They're adding a lot of great numbers to their business, and it seems like they're growing across all metrics and all verticals. So anyway, I'll leave that there. I know this video probably could have been 5 minutes long. I I tend to ramble and blather because I really only make videos about this company right now because it's the only one that I think needs to have videos made of it because all the other companies that I follow are covered. But anyway, it's looking good. We'll see how it goes over the next month. And yeah, I don't know if there'll be any crazy price action going forward. I expect it to get back above 3 pretty rapidly, especially on a good market day. But oh, yeah, I definitely got filled at 275, so hopefully I didn't buy super early, but I guess if it goes back down to 2, I'll probably buy more. And then if this company crashes and burns, then we can all be sad for me together. But until then, I hope you all have a good day, and we'll chat later.